Hey guys, in today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about a hobby that I dive deeper into and I've consistently practiced for 1 month. So for me, that hobby in particular is riding one-wheel off-road. However, I feel like the takeaways that I gained from that month of doing it could be applied to other hobbies as well. So for that month, I rode trails that look like this, and even took a couple falls. But I discovered a lot more than new terrain. In this video, I'm going to summarize all of them. And if you're new around here, my name is Ronnie. I'm a multi-passionate creative documenting my journey and sharing thoughts along the way. And I would really appreciate if you would consider liking and subscribing to this channel if you like this video. So let's get into it. What is Onewheel? First of all, it is a personal electric vehicle if you're not familiar with this particular hobby. Like, it looks like an electric skateboard, but it's a little bit different. But it has that one wheel in the middle, so you may have seen people riding it in your town or city before, but not know what it's called. I feel like it's still somewhat niche. Like, it's definitely a successful brand, but it's not like huge yet per se. I've been riding for a while. Just as some background, I've been riding since 2022, on and off though, and I was primarily just riding pavement. So for me, what that looked like is public parks, kind of riding around my neighborhood after work and things like that. But it wasn't until I started riding off-road that I realized that it's way more fun. It's honestly way more fun. Riding parks is great to get a feel for it, and it's also a great way to connect with the community and do group rides, so we did a lot of that. But once we started doing these desert trails and mountain bike trails, it just unlocked a whole different level of riding, really. And we were also able to explore community within that arena as we were able to ride with people who were more into doing off-road. So all that to say, I guess that kind of covers my first point, is that a hobby can bring you community. It can be a new avenue for finding community if you don't currently have any communities that you're a part of. And we all know that we're in this loneliness epidemic with social media. At one point in the 2010s, social media was really fun and creative. And now it just feels like it makes people feel more disconnected from each other on top of post-pandemic. It's hard to make friends as an adult and find community, and one great way to do that is through a hobby. We've met so many cool people through riding, and that does coincide with this particular month that I'm covering as well. We met some more people who are into the off-roading thing, and they're super advanced. It's very inspiring to see their skill level because they've been practicing off-road. They said they've been doing it consistently for about 2 years. So then to go into another point, it feels good to embrace a beginner's mind, because when you're new at any hobby or skill, there's a learning curve. Naturally, there's some barrier to entry, and it can be discouraging and frustrating at first, but it also is really freeing to let go of perfectionism and just see yourself getting better and better. Riding my one-wheel off-road really helped me connect with the nature and scenery out where I live as well. So I live in Vegas, and I've never really been a desert girly. It's been a huge adjustment moving here. I've been here for several years, but I always feel like I really miss the greenery, I miss the ocean, I miss being near water. And while I still miss those things, I found more contentment via one-wheel. It's also been great for my mental health because being in nature, as we know, is so healing. But I'm one of those people who's like kind of chronically online, really prone to being on my computer. And as a creative and freelancer, I always feel like there's more work I could be doing. There's more things I could be doing on my computer. But making it a priority to ride one-wheel helped me kind of unplug from the screens and just be immersed out in fresh air. I really consider riding off-road kind of like a moving meditation, a mindfulness exercise. When I'm out there on the trail, I'm just focused on the next 100 feet in front of me. I'm not thinking about other things. And by the time I get home, I feel grounded, centered, I feel in my body. Kind of coinciding with a beginner's mind thing, it also felt good to just do a hobby for pure enjoyment. I almost feel like I should have led with that one because that's kind of the overarching theme. But what a hobby is something you do for pure enjoyment, not necessarily trying to monetize off of it, at least not initially. I think in this day and age, like, all of us feel the pressure to capitalize on everything we're doing because of just the economics of the current world. Having a hobby is a form of resistance because joy is resistance. And there is a great Audible book that I listened to earlier this year. I think it's called Joy is My Justice. I'll put a little picture of it as well as link it in the description. It's kind of a book that can rewire your brain chemistry because, I don't know, she explains it way better than me, but joy is a form of resistance. It is a form of justice with everything going on in today's current political climate and just the way the world is today. So prioritize doing things that make you happy. I got a couple other points that I want to sum up before we close out. My boyfriend and I started making cinematic videos of our rides, and I'm also going to link that channel in the description, and we would super appreciate if you would consider looking at those videos because a lot of work does go into that with, first of all, my boyfriend being skilled enough to ride and film at the same time, as well as doing color grading, post-production, and just the whole way we kind of curated it. That's something we found really enjoyable to do because we're both into self-expression and film and things like that. So we wanted to capture these emotive videos that capture that moving meditation feeling, as well as how just liberating it feels to be out there on the trails. So we will have more uploads there soon. One of my other favorite parts is, for me, the outfits. I am into costuming, I'm into fashion, just typical girly pop stuff. So I would sometimes even throw on a wig, and I would kind of have this alter ego when I'm riding and wear really like bright colors like that I don't really wear day to day, because I felt like, why not? I'm not really seeing people like myself represented too much in their marketing. There's definitely a few girl riders who are kind of have a similar vibe to me. However, most of their marketing, and I feel like the perception of someone who would ride Onewheel, is just the translation of skater core, surfer dude, SoCal dude culture. So I just felt like being myself is already disruptive to that, and why not just like lean into that? Just because I don't see a ton of other people doing it, like I can make this whatever I want to make it. And I would love to see more of that. I want to see more of us femmes who are into fashion and feeling good and looking good when we're on our boards represented. So I would say that about sums it up. Those are the main takeaways I had from that 1 month. We were riding about 2 to 3 times a week, if not more, sometimes that month, because we also did a little road trip to San Diego and we rode 5 days straight. We literally rode our Onewheel all day. We had a charger in the car, and that was a great experience because for all these reasons that I mentioned, but as well as it really helped us up-level our skills by doing some difficult trails out there. And I would love to know if any of these points spoke to you at all, whether it's the self-expression thing, the community thing, the beginner's mind thing. And I would love to know, what is a hobby that you do for pure enjoyment? Or if you don't really have a hobby right now, what is one hobby that looks intriguing to you or that you might be interested in trying? I hope these takeaways inspired you to carve out a little more time for yourself this week, whether it's to move your body, get some fresh air, tap into flow state without the pressure to master or monetize it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.